Welcome to the Building Connections with Counterparts at the International Level podcast, developed under the SafeBorders project. SafeBorders is a project funded by the European Commission's Internal Security Fund and aims to combat child trafficking by enhancing the capabilities of judicial authorities and frontline workers through a comprehensive approach.
Specifically, the project focuses on strengthening the expertise of judicial authorities by facilitating knowledge exchange, identifying best practices, and conducting capacity building activities. In addition, leveraging technology in the digital era, the project will introduce an AI platform to support cross-border cooperation among judicial authorities.
This podcast, Building Connections with Counterparts at the International Level, aims to gather legal professionals with a background in cross-border judicial cooperation to discuss strategies and good practices to strengthen mutual trust and victim-centered practices in child trafficking cases. Today, we are joined by Sylwia Brzezinska, a legal advisor at Kids in Need of Defense, an organization providing legal and social support to refugee and migrant children around the world. In Poland, as a professional lawyer, she represents unaccompanied children in procedures for granting international protection. We are also joined by Mariusz Murawski, a prosecutor since 2019 and coordinator of the Department on Action Against Human Trafficking in the Public Prosecutor's Office in Gdańsk. He is also active in other fields, leading and supervising call investigations on other matters.
This debate is moderated by Beatriz Martins and Matilde Camara from IPS Innovative Prison Systems, a partner in the SafeBorders project. Welcome, Sylwia and Mariusz. So the first question we have for you is, effective international collaboration requires a foundation of mutual trust and understanding between member states. What specific strategies or initial engagements have you found most helpful in establishing a productive and trustworthy professional relationship with new counterparts in other jurisdictions?
I'd like to begin with such statement that prosecutor's office is short on trust to any other counterpart. So we have established some official channels of contact with other outside counterparts, and we are effectively using them. But it backfires when we try to, act quickly in our cases, based on past, engagements and based on trust that our counterparts also want to establish less formal channels. We tried to reach out, especially to the counterparts in European Union, and we had some successful contacts with German authorities, both police and prosecutors' officers, several of them, and from my part, they were successful email contacts, also video conferences like so. And the main tool that we used, not to pass over the formal channels, we used to discuss, especially the European investigation orders issued in our cases before issuing them. So they would be, first of all, on time. The second, we knew several things before we sent something. We knew, for example, the case signatures, or we knew persons that we're interested in, and so on. And on that level, we could develop, we could tighten the cooperation, in our investigations. So I had some good experiences in such, but let's just say that our system does not really encourage trust, to other counterparts. So it's difficult that we have to establish our own channels. We have to establish our own ways of communicating so that we do not damage the evidence, we do not damage the information. So it would not leak out from the investigation to do no harm for the investigation itself, for the victims, and so on. I imagine it's especially hard in human trafficking cases because the victims are on the place, and in many cases when we successfully established channels, like I said before, aggrieved parties were sometimes professionals, sometimes people who done businesses. It wasn't so personal as in human trafficking, so I see challenges in that. But we had some good experiences.
I would like to add a few things because Mariusz said very important thing that cooperation is here crucial, because when we have a situation with human trafficking victim, there is a lot of different factors, actors, a lot of different solutions. Every single country has their own way how to deal with this problem, and we as Kind, we are very focused on this type of collaboration. So even now we have this huge project called Syria, where we try to get involved as many partners as we can in Poland, Slovakia, Czechia, Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, of course, because we are focusing on victims who are children. So it's very important to co-work in this whole process, because our main goal is to highlight that children are the most vulnerable victims here. It's important to have the main goal and act in the best interest of the victim, the child, of course. So collaboration here is crucial, and it's important to learn each other from our common experience, how we can not only solve issue in our own field, in our country, but how we can cooperate, how we can share with information, how we can have similar, procedures, but not in this formal way, legal way. Also, what we can do to provide the best support to children, to the victim, to receive, for example, evidence from the child, because child sometimes his statement might be evidence. So what to do, how to cooperate to not harm more a child. So we can see that main strategy is building cooperation, building a common trust between different actors, and to encourage other authorities, especially law enforcement, who have their own paths, very restricted, very legal, to get there into this process other actors like NGOs, like social workers who could support the victim in other ways in different fields to provide the best support, and in the end to get what is necessary in this whole process. But having the main goal not to harm, not to traumatize the victim, because in case of children, it's very important to provide one hearing in a safe place. So cooperation here is crucial. So providing new paths, not from this perspective that we know better, you have worse solutions. No, it needs to share the best solution that we think, and then try to find common synergies.
Thank you to both of you. Moving on to the next question. What are some good or promising practices that your organization has adopted for securely sharing and collaboratively analyzing evidence with international teams? We would like to know if there are specific technologies or some data analysis methodologies that were particularly effective in connecting the dots across borders. I will maybe start with Mariusz, Sylwia.
I'd like to say that the main issue in international cooperation is that the evidence could be used in several countries. But yes, I'm positive. We had some good experiences with sharing not only files, but evidence that could be further analyzed. I collected two pieces of such experience. The first of all, recognitions. In Poland, it's shorted for NPRS system. It's used mainly to recognize license plates of cars. This data was in few of my investigations positively used cross-border, especially between us and Germany. And I am sure that this could be a great asset to cooperation with human trafficking, because what can we achieve? That we can reconstruct, sometimes lasting, few days or even few weeks, a straight line from point A to point B through several countries, just based on license plates, not only one license plate, but also with some specific, details to a certain vehicle. So this was used positively, and the information was shared between us and German authorities, and we had some success with that. Also, there is one other evidence that can easily be analyzed cross-border, the DNA analysis. It is. I don't think it's just only this evidence that could be used this way, but it is one specific part that we could easily translate, because the language of science is mainly international, especially in DNA analysis. There are special forms of uploading and describing the DNA data. These data can be effectively understood and used by several specialists in several countries. So, in my opinion, such evidence could be sent right away without any formal delay, could be analyzed, and the best channel from my point of view as prosecutor is police exchange of information, because it's quicker and less formal, and it leads to quick analysis and very specific evidence that could bring. And so we can also use the evidence to do things once, not twice, not thrice in the same investigation, or in the 3 or 4 investigations in 3 or 4 countries. We can use it effectively, and we can track down not only the culprit but the victim, and we can provide the victim cover. We can provide the victim some things that the person needs right away. So I think it's effective not only in our investigations, but also we have to remember that our investigations should lead to something more important than just only punishment. It should lead to securing the victim. I think that if we are afraid that the evidence could be questioned in court, okay, that could be the case. It could be, because if we make informal exchange of information, it could backfire, but also we can do one most important thing. We can stop the crime on sea. So I think it's really more important than securing the formal evidence as for human trafficking.
I totally agree. And from our perspective, because we are more organization focused on providing legal support to victims, not collecting evidence, because there are special actors, special organizations like police, prosecutors, and other organizations who are involved in this process. We are more concerned that, and we highlighted fact that collecting data is also and safe collecting data and evidence is very important also for victims. We try to spread this knowledge to border guards, to police officers, that using new tools is helpful, but also might compromise the child. So we are trying to spread awareness about new ethical solutions which existing in this technical AI world. It's something new for all of us, but it brings extra risk. So we as NGO spreading awareness how to use these tools in safe way to protect the child, because child is most vulnerable and more risk person in this whole process. So using different tools need to be used to protect the child, the victim. It's important is that the child or victim, but from our perspective, we can see that children always ask us about who will see it, my statement, who will have access. Children from Ukraine worried that someone will use their information against their parents who can stay in Ukraine, for example. So we can see that having this common rules that provide safe information is also helping a child who can be sure that his statement, his evidence, his name will never be used across border, because different actors can have access to those information. So it's very important from our perspective as to protect the victim.
I would like to add a few words to that. I think if we are working here on developing new ways, new practices, and new tools to effectively stop human trafficking, children trafficking, for example, I think that all our parts that take part in this, we should agree basically on one thing, like the doctors do, primum non nocere. The first thing is not to damage the victim more. I think it's a great challenge to us to effectively lead our investigations and not to make more damage. I have to confess that I had no personal experience with children trafficking, so I only imagine ways to do it effectively and try to develop tools that could be used in investigations that I am certain that will be somewhere in the future. That it's not irrational from the victims to be afraid that what damage will be done just throughout the investigations, because of the investigation. So if we don't have sufficient tools to prevent that, and the tools, by the tools I mean our own agendas about the investigations, then we would not effectively cooperate with the victims. The victims would simply not want to tell us anything.
Yes, it's very important, and it's very good what you said. So that's why cooperation and spreading and knowledge about this, how it is crucial for child to have this, for example, common solutions in different procedures in different countries, because child doesn't have to know procedures. Yes, in one hand, we have goal to receive information because it's important for our investigation, for you as police officer to create case. For me as a lawyer, it's important to make sure that a child is safe in these procedures, that his rights are safe and not violated. But in the end, both of us, you and me, will have to think about the best interest of child, how she reacts in those procedures. So I have to do my job, you have to do your job, but from our perspective, it's very important to invite other actors, other parts in this process, for example, case manager, psychologist, guardian, who could explain, prepare, make more information, give more information to child to secure his mental and psychological state, but also having common solutions. The same in Poland, the same in Slovakia. It's easier to provide support if we have the same, I would say, they are never the same, but very similar solution that child will see and will hear, for me, for a caregiver, for a guardian, that your data are safe, because police officers told me that information about you will not be released. You have a right to one hearing. No one else will take your statement in different country. We won't share with this information with officers. For example, in Ukraine, a lot of institutions should be involved in this process, and cooperation, as we said before, is crucial to create a good environment in this very important procedures, because we want to punish people who made a crime. Yes.
Thank you. So for our final question, what would you consider as the most effective strategies for proactively building bridges with counterparts in key third countries to combat child trafficking?
For us, as we can see the whole process from different perspectives with different needs, a good solution is to strengthen the model that we can create integrated child-centered case management model, to invite all of actors, people who are involved in this process, to teach how to cooperate, how to recognize different needs of each other, because knowing each other is also have impact of work of other people. If I know how police officer work and what he wants, for case manager or a social worker, is easier to provide or prepare children to or other victims to hearing, to collect evidence. And if police officer, prosecutor understand how child react, how his condition looks like in this process, it's easier for him to ask questions, to receive in not harming way information, for example. So this is one thing, but for us, of course, and many institution is aware of this, one interview principle. So if we are talking about children, it's crucial to not put at risk children to more than one hearing. And it's very important to build a cross-border emergency response mechanism. It's very important to learn across borders, common solutions, how we can cooperate, how we can support each other in different fields. This legal way, this prosecutor needs, social way. So there is so many fields to cooperate that having a cross-border emergency response is helpful to take care of the victim. And in the end, it will give us the best result because we will have case, victim will be safe, and this is very important to cooperate again, cooperation.
I can fully relate to that. I think that inviting as many different cooperators will be the best way to take different approaches and understand each other in the specific needs that we have in such cases. But I think from my part of the investigation, I think that we have to creatively use European investigation orders and other tools to establish some ways of communicating about those tools, that we use them quicker and better. Also, our cooperators inside and outside, our closer contacts should provide, in my opinion, that we look on the same case, okay, in a different way, that we have different needs, but also we have a common purpose on this one. Because in formal way, it's very easy to do this, right? We hear the child only once and it's done. But we should remember that for the child, the hearing is one time, but also the same child outside the investigation, it had 5 or 6 conversations about what happened. So we should remember that, not only in a formal way, but we have to be creative, because this formal hearing should not only, leave us, with the good evidence, but also we have to remember what we are doing here in our investigation, and especially in human trafficking. It's easy to go past the victim's needs. And I think that the more cooperators with different views, the better we can see what we need and what we need to do.
Totally agree with you, what you said. So even having common approach to how we treat testimony, how we treat hearing, how we can collect information from victim, from child is important, and because we don't know how it works in different countries. If a victim in one country have one hearing, in another country has another hearing, because law requires such solutions. So this is common area to discuss how we can support victim not having different legal requirements, not having different hearings, how to accept evidence from different sources, as you said, not only one formal hearing. Is it possible? How to create solutions to not violate this victim and cooperate in this path?
Sylwia and Mariusz, thank you so much for your participation. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. And we hope you enjoyed this discussion and gained some valuable insights.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.